All right. So that was two of our topics. I mean, another one that kind of goes with what we're talking about right now that I feel like it makes the most sense to transition to is Black Lives Matter. So most recently I've, seen, so obviously Black Lives Matter is big during election year. I think we all know that they show up, and in 2020 there's been a lot to support and push forward. And I do think that they have organizations that do good. And I know that recently there's been some information that's come out about some of the corruption behind it as well. So Black Lives Matter, but then also the state of Black America in 2020 was something we were just trying to talk about. And Breonna Taylor was part of that, obviously, but we've alluded to other George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and some other things that's happened this year. So that was the other discussion point we wanted to talk about. I don't know where you guys want to start. We can start with Black Lives Matter, see where it takes us. Let me know. Oh, Peter.
Yeah, so Black Lives Matter as an organization is nothing more than an extension of the Democratic Party. If you look at all their money, and it's from their own website, all their money gets funneled into Act Blue, which goes into donations to Democratic Party. That's why they get all their power. If you take a look at the person behind their money, he's actually a convicted terrorist, but yet he's in charge of their money. My biggest issue with Black Lives Matter as the organization is that it's corrupt. Well, so when somebody talks about Black Lives Matter and they're just walking down the street and they're supporting Black Lives Matter, okay, that's fine. But the gist of their organization, they're a Marxist group. They even finally took that down off of their website. You take a look at the founder and the co-founder, she came out and flat out said it. That's what they're about. They don't care about the Black community. You can say local chapters do, that's fine. But as an organization, what has the organization done besides fund the rioters, the protesters, all the looting, funneling money to the Democratic Party? I've yet to see them actually do anything good with the billions of dollars that they have coming in from all these organizations. So when I see like Black Lives Matter on sports and stuff, it pisses me off because if NASCAR had MAGA, because most of the NASCAR people support Trump, if they had MAGA, everybody would be up in arms. So when I see Black Lives Matter, I see promoting a political party. So there's no point in doing that. So when Black Lives Matter does not denounce violence, they do not denounce all of the rioting, the looting, the killing of police officers, but instead they actually chant it. How the hell is that even possible? So if it went the opposite way, everybody would be up in arms. Now, and I know some people, we were talking about the Proud Boys. Oh, they're white supremacists. No, they're not. But everybody goes up in arms. If you say Proud Boys, you automatically think, oh, white supremacists. We have to ban them. We have to ban them. Yet their co-founder or their co-leader is a Black dude. Another one's a Cuban dude. But all of a sudden they're sitting there and they're a white nationalist. But Black Lives Matter gets a pass. They can do no wrong. And that's what really pisses me off when I see that movement, and people are pushing that movement and they're pushing money into political party.
All right. I don't know if anybody saw me.
Okay. Yeah, I saw you, Aaron. So it's LaShawn. CJ, did you raise your hand or were you just?
No, I raised my hand.
Okay. I just really quickly wanted to say that Peter said protesters, and I don't see anything wrong with people supporting protesters. That's all
you're right. To say. Yeah, you're right. I hate protesters, but there's nothing. It's completely American. I hate protesting in general, really, because they mess up traffic. That's really the only reason why. It's just really selfish. There's nothing more to it. You go out and protest, I don't really care. You're not doing anything. You're not doing any damage. But when that protest turns into looting and rioting and killing, then that destruction of property, then that's a different situation. So you're right. The protesting, there's nothing wrong with it. Besides, I just don't really like it.
Jesus. All right. So Cliff, and then Jasmine, and then Aaron.
I mean, I'll just, what Pete said, that he had an issue maybe with some of the organizations putting Black Lives Matter. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if they were supporting the organization, more so just the words Black Lives Matter. And then to that point, I mean, it just goes to show the hypocrisy, because people want to come back and combat and say all lives matter. Well, if all lives matter, then why does Black Lives Matter really draw your ire? So, I mean, why are you getting pissed about that? I mean, I don't follow Black Lives Matter, the organization, because like most organizations, I'm sure they're mismanaging money. I'm sure they're corrupt in some way. I don't know anything about the founder, the co-founder. I don't know who's on the board. I don't know what they do. Just like I don't know what the Proud Boys are about. So I'm not jumping to support an organization I don't know anything about. And you can read what's on the website, but I mean, hell, anybody can put whatever they want on the website. So, but those 3 words, I mean, everybody should be able to get behind that. I mean, versus the slogan "Make America Great Again." I always challenge people, like, when you say that, when are we talking about? When was America great? Like, because you're ignoring a lot of things when you say those words versus Black Lives Matter. I mean, Black Lives Matter is something that everybody in this country supposedly supports because they say all lives matter. So they should be with that. But Make America Great Again is more of, well, if you're talking about what, back in the 1800s, what, 1850s? I mean, what, 1950s, 1960s? When? Like, what time period? Because it wasn't great for a lot of people, a lot of immigrants, women. I mean, it's not been a great place for a lot of people. So what does that mean? And I think most of us can catch the, you know, what it really means for some people. And, you know, that's it.
Jasmine, Aaron, Peter.
Okay, so I actually was going to say what CJ said. Like, just because people are saying Black Lives Matter and are posting that doesn't mean that they're supporting the organization itself. It's just they're giving support. From my experience, and you seem like you want to say something, they're just giving support to the Black culture, to African American people. And also, when you were talking about Proud Boys, just like CJ said, I don't know much about Proud Boys either. Once that shit was said on the debate, Lord Jesus, whatever. But you saying, oh, well, their 2 founders are Cuban and Black. That's like saying I have a Black friend, so I'm not racist, or I have, you know, like
that's not even close to being the same.
No, you literally said, how can they be, you know, white supremacists to do all this stuff if their founders are this and this? That just because their founders are that doesn't mean that their founders aren't fucking racist, or, you know, like, just because they're minority people doesn't mean that they can't have
prejudice
biases against, you know.
The good thing is this is on tape.
You can say that for any group, though. Yeah. I mean, period. Just gonna say that. You can say that for any group. Any group.
Well, how are they a white supremacist, you know, group if their founders are this? That was his point in saying they can't be that if their founders, well, co-founders, because there's 2 of them, are of minority group. That doesn't make any sense, because you can still be prejudiced as a minority, and then you can have all these white people and still be fucking racist.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
Go
ahead, Aaron. Okay. How can you? So this is
Peter. Hold on, it's Peter, Tino, Aaron.
No, it's Aaron. I thought
it was Aaron. It was Aaron.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to counter them too. But go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Aaron, you were before.
Yeah.
Peter.
No, you go ahead, because I feel like whatever you're about to say, I'm going to probably respond to it anyway. So Please feel free.
So 2 things. One is going to the saying Black Lives Matter. The problem I have with putting that logo up is, what do people then do? They put the money into, they donate to Black Lives Matter, which is a political organization. That's why. So the Black Lives Matter statement was co-opted and taken over by this organization. So now all of a sudden, all that money is right into that power struggle, and all that money is wasted. You talking about corruption? The dude from Atlanta just spent what he spent, $200,000 was a ridiculous amount of money he funneled through from him. Yeah. So it's not about, so that statement alone is one thing, but where does that money go? So now all of a sudden that money is, when we were talking about it before, money talks. That's where the power is, where the money is. So some person walking down the street saying Black Lives Matter, okay, whatever. But as an organization, and all these organizations are putting billions of dollars. Where is that billions of dollars? That's my point. Yeah, that's why, to me, it's problematic. So as far as people having, like me, I never say Black Lives Matter. I don't even say All Lives Matter, but I don't separate. My thought has always been, it's always been the same thing. Putting yourself in a box, to me, is just dumb. My box is pretty simple. I'm an American. That's it. Okay.
That's a box.
I agree. And I just said, that's what I just said. Right. But when you start breaking it down and you start saying, okay, I'm this and I'm this and I'm this, well, you're then shrinking. I'm just telling you what my own belief is. That's what I just don't do. So I don't walk around and saying I'm this or I'm that or I'm that. It's just one simple thing. I'm an American. That's it. So I don't see the difference between a Black American, a white American, an Asian, Hispanic, or whatever, man or a woman. It's simple. It's just a simple thing. I'll make fun of everybody equally, but I'm not going to sit there and flat out and judge anything different. Back to your point about the Proud Boys. How can you be a white supremacist if you're not white? Because you then think you're inferior?
Have you not seen that Dave Chappelle episode? Have you not seen the Dave Chappelle episode? White Power.
Yeah, but Shantae, that was a comedy sketch.
Yeah,
it's not like it was a real story.
That's comedy is a reflection of life. I'm just saying.
No, but okay, wait. So Aaron,
to some joke.
Aaron, and then Tino, and Wes, and then Jasmine.
I knew Pierre was going to give me something I could go with. Two things. First off, thank you, best friend. First off, back to the Proud Boys thing, and we touched on this in the chat. I had not heard of them until when asked about specifically white supremacy. This is the group that Trump alluded to. I had never heard of them. So when somebody asks you, that's like,
that's not true.
Wait a second. That is true. The moderator.
No, the moderator said
Peter,
that.
I'm next talking, so I can address that, Peter.
Excuse me.
I have the transcript. I can read the transcript right now.
Thank you very much.
Hey, guys. Simple. We're recording. No, the moderator said, would you tonight denounce white supremacist groups or white supremacy? And he stuttered, and then he said, Proud Boys, stand back. Wait, I'm sorry, stand back.
Yeah, whatever he said. Stand back and stand by. Stand by and stand back.
The moderator brought up the Proud Boys name, not Trump.
That's what I couldn't remember.
He repeated it. If you don't think they're white supremacy, I'm not gonna say if somebody mentions white supremacy group, and then I'm not gonna say make up a term. If I don't know, then I'm going to either answer the question as directed to me or say I'm not familiar with that group, which is what he said in the press conference on the White House lawn the next day. Hold on. Secondly, you can say, I don't put myself in a box of being a certain way. I'm an American. Well, for people with melanin, we don't have that option. We are put in that box. You're black. You're black. So because you're black, when you're driving or you're walking or you're eating, you're put in a box by other people. So that's a realistic view for people that you're black. You can't, or you're Hispanic or you're Asian. You can't, I don't see race is not real. Like, that's not real. That's not real at all. Like, seriously, you have to. Unfortunately, I do agree. I did agree with you on the point of you feel like, more people should be able to rep their MAGA, and that's fair. That is fair. But I mean, I did agree with CJ when he came back and said what the idea, what exactly is the idea behind MAGA.
Okay, 2 minutes. And then, so Tino.
Can I read the transcript really fast?
Hold on, Peter. I got it. I mean, Aaron, just real quick. I mean, the moderator didn't even bring up Proud Boys. Trump said, who should I denounce? And Biden was the one that said Proud Boys. Chris Wallace didn't bring it up either. It was Joe Biden. And then he said, stand down and stand by. The issue, I'm going back a little bit further. I am with Peter with this. The issue isn't necessarily like it's Black Lives Matter, the idea versus the organization. And, just recently, I want to say that one of the heads of the Atlanta chapter of that was like charged with like funneling $200,000 in funding personal things in like in their house or some crazy stuff like that. And that's the issue, is that money is funneling towards the Democratic Party through ActBlue. You like, if you go on any of their like websites down there in the fine print, who's actually running that organization. In terms of like CJ with MAGA, I'm not going to disagree with you on this idea that MAGA can be a little divisive. I'm going to agree with that, but it's very subjective. You know, "Make America Great Again" might mean some white supremacists, you know, sitting there holding on to that, but it also means something else to people like me, or people like Peter, or people like whoever supports it. It's not just one blanket statement that okay, well, this is like, you know, a white supremacist nation. It just depends on your American experience, really. And I understand that some people don't have a very positive one. Some people do have a very positive one. If you want to look at it historically, yeah, we have some issues in history, but the idea of America has always been great, in my opinion. And which is something that, like, I kind of hold on to. What else did I have to touch on?
You're at
I think that's it. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Thanks.
Okay, Wes, Jasmine.
I Wikipedia'd it. The Proud Boys are a far-right, neo-fascist, and male-only organization with ties to white supremacists that promote and engage in political violence. That's the statement.
That's
This
Wiki.
is
Though.
Wikipedia.
That's
I go to their okay.
Go to
Okay.
their
So
website.
wait. So
what do
if
you
I
mean
go, if I go and go to any other Wikipedia, because I know anyone can update it, right? And so who says that the actual Proud Boys are involved in, and no one has a say on changing this. They just let this sit up here and let it be dirt on their name, even though they're proud, but it's dirt on their name on Wikipedia. It's literally the mission statement, first sentence. But I don't care, because again, we do this thing where we miss points that are like we draw these false equivalencies. I'm watching the game on the other screen right here. And you know what else is saying next to Black Lives Matter on the court? It say NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV. It say Walt Disney World. Somebody else got an advertisement out there too. Oh, it's on the board. But my point is, you can't say shit about who Disney gives their money to politically. You cannot say shit. You can't say shit about who YouTube donates their money to politically. So the idea that because any organization, and I don't agree with the organization of Black Lives Matter, because supposedly it's not even affiliated with what people do in the streets. It's somebody else and took it. I don't know and I don't care. But the idea that we're going to say where you can donate your money to and what you can do politically, when we don't for JP Morgan, when we don't for any of these other people to advertise anywhere, Wendy's or anyone, which again goes back to cancel culture. We don't say that about anything. Why would we say it about Black Lives Matter? Just give me the reason why Black Lives Matter is the one that can't do that.
Here's the reason right here. Because
no, Jasmine.
He asked the question.
Okay. Jasmine, it's up to you.
You can make it real quick and then you gotta shut up because I want to talk.
So the reason why is because they don't say that's what they're doing. They are just a branch of the Democratic Party. All of their money goes to that. So it's not like they're earning money like a Wendy's or these other companies who have a specific thing to run a business and they're just donating. All of their money is going to them. So it's just a branch of a political party. That's the difference.
Where is Fox News, for example? Where's their money going?
Well, it depends who you talk, which owner. The Sun is actually a never Trumper. Paul Ryan's on the board. You have a whole bunch of never Trumpers on the board. So not all of Fox News. Chris Wallace is on Fox News, he hates Trump. There's a lot of people. John Roberts just got into it. A lot of people on Fox don't like Trump and don't like certain Republicans.
But again, so now we're saying that somebody from Fox News is donating to the Democratic Party.
Yeah, Chris Wallace is a registered Democrat. The Sun was donating to Democrats.
My point is only that we literally can't do anything about it. So this idea that it pisses you off so bad, even whether you realize it or not, the only difference is that it's black. That's literally the only difference. It's just, if it's just like everything else written out there on the court, Taco Bell, all of them do whatever they want. It's just part of what it is. I don't like it either, but the only difference is it's just that, or that it's democratic. That could be the other thing pissing you off. But again, I don't like either party. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so all I was gonna say real quickly was the whole you check yourself in like in the American box. Like you have a choice to do that, just like everybody else has a choice to want to identify with who they are, what their culture, race, ethnicity, whatever it is you want to call yourself, whatever it is they label it these days. You know, that's what I was gonna say. Like that's cool that you identify that and you think that it's stupid for everybody else to want to check themselves in a box, but if checking themselves in a box makes them feel closer to the culture or whatever it is, or helps them identify, you know, like who they are, then I don't think there should be any issue with that. And the whole like, I don't see race thing. I think that's a crock of shit. I mean, look at our family in general. How the fuck can you not see color and race? And that was it.
And male and female too.
Like, oh yeah, the male and female thing. Like, I'm sorry.
How do you call it a crock of shit? When do I differentiate anything based on race?
No, but I'm saying you were saying
that you call it a crock of shit. So give me an example.
I'm talking. If you would have just drank your water instead of talk before I was talking, then you would know. So you specifically stated, yeah, right. Okay. You specifically stated that you hate when people check themselves in a box. You just say American. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's you saying that it's an issue that people are identifying themselves as what they want to identify themselves as.
I think what he was saying, Jasmine, was have you ever experienced him saying that he sees color? I think what we're saying is whether he thinks that he is or not, he sees it. But
give me an example.
Prove it. He's saying prove it.
Give me an example. If I'm doing it, it should be obvious.
I think
it doesn't matter if you do it at the end of the day. Other people do it. Other people put us in the box, like Aaron said.
No, which is fine. But I'm going off of me. I'm not. But that's my point. I'm going off of me. I'm not putting anybody in a box. If you put yourself in a box, if I have a conception of people in this box, now all of a sudden I see you as a person in this box that you yourself put yourself in.
We're
you're not identifying
us doing it,
I understand.
Society setting up this structure where this
that goes again to my point. If more people thought like me and didn't put themselves in boxes, we wouldn't have all these damn boxes.
That's not reality. Okay, hold on. So Tino had raised his hand a while ago, and then Anthony, Peter, you're done because you have raised your hand too. But I'm crossing you out.
I mean, I just wanted to go back to what Wes was saying. You know, and this is for me. My issue with isn't necessarily that these companies are donating money to it. I just feel like Black Lives Matter as an organization is deceptive because of where the money actually goes. And, you know, it concerns me that I don't give a fuck what YouTube or Disney donate to. It's, you know, people like you and me who see this and send whatever money they have going that way. And they don't realize what they're actually funding. That's the big issue that I see with it. You know, they need to be very clear about where that money is going. I mean, you look at like the NAACP, which is historically nonpartisan. They don't even endorse any candidate because all they care about is whether or not it's a candidate is supporting their philosophy. You know, that's the better route to go. But in this case, they need to be very clear about where that money is ending up. And I'll side by. You guys are missing out. Check out this flyer. Yeah. I'm done.
Awesome. Okay, so Anthony and then LaShawn. Did I miss Aaron? Okay, and then Aaron.
All right, cool. I wanted to piggyback off of Wes, just to be clear. Wes, you said you don't like Black Lives Matter, right?
No, it's not that I dislike it. I just don't think that the organization is the same as what you see in people going out there. When I see Black Lives Matter people down like in the suburbs, they all white. They're out here. It's just the statement that they're with. That's it.
Cool. Now I'm gonna say this, and I may go. This is probably too far left, but this is just how I feel. I feel pimped. Like when it comes down to like this whole Black Lives Matter movement, it's like, hey guys, we're gonna make this happen. Hey guys, it's Black Lives Matter. Hey, donate. And he just saying it's $200,000 going to a whole different thing. And I feel pimped. I feel like it's like Black folks. I feel like all of this right here is like, we look at the TV, we watching TV. Oh, Disney support back. Next year when everything open, we taking the kids to Disney. Or when all this, I just feel like at some point, we're like, and that's just how I feel. Like emotional. Oh yeah, guys, let's get this popping. Let's do it. That's what we're gonna do. Hey, and then the money going a whole different way. And I heard a saying recently. They said whenever you want to know what's really going on, follow the money.
Mhm.
When you want to know what the real deal is, follow the money. Like what's the real deal about what's going on? And also, Santino looked like the guy off off the Hangover. He looked like Buddy off the Hangover. G. I don't know his name.
Trump version.
Dude,
I know you're talking about.
Let me find a picture. No.
Okay. Restarting, resetting. LaShawn. Then Aaron, then Cliff.
I was just gonna say that as far as BLM goes, like I agree that it's more about the words than the actual organization. And I don't even think most Black people know much about the organization, much less donate money to the organization. But as far as people donating, I think it is a lot of random white people. But people in general just need to be a lot more careful about where they send their money, because at the end of the day, you should be looking into organizations that you're giving money to. You should be donating to your local organizations and your city and stuff like that, rather than some big organization that you know nothing about. So people just need to be more responsible with their money in general.
Aaron?
LaShawn literally just said what I was going to say.
Okay. Cliff? And then did I miss anyone? Okay. Oh, you're good? Okay. The only other thing I was going to say, LaShawn, about what you said was like, I agree with you that probably there's not a whole lot of like, I don't know if it's like a race thing. So I don't know if it's Black people that are not donating to Black Lives Matter, but I do know I've seen like celebrities tweet about it. And so that's what kind of bothers me, because they're like, throw $2 million in this organization. You're like even I cringe. I'm like, but wait, I don't know much about them. Why are you comfortable throwing $2 million at it just to say #BLM? So Pete and Wes.
So that I think that's the worst thing, is you have probably the worst offenders of racism and sexism and all this other stuff are these big corporations, are these big celebrities, and they just throw the money so they can make themselves feel better, and nobody really looks into all the dirt that they're about, like Disney and all the dirt that they have going on in China. So I think that's what really annoys me. You get, I'm going to donate, they're donating, and it really makes themselves feel good, and they're really just donating to the Democratic Party that they love anyway.
Wes and then Cliff.
I mean, all that shit is just a write-off anyway, so it really don't matter where you put it. You could burn it up if they would, but I mean, they probably would, just so nobody else would get it if they could get away with it. But no, you actually writing it off, and got to show that it goes somewhere. But did anybody see you familiar with the Minnesota Freedom Fund? Because that was a big deal for back in the summer when Minnesota kind of broke down. They burned up the precinct, and everybody started getting arrested. And they were saying, donate to the Minnesota Freedom Fund, and everybody donated. And they made like some insane amount of money. And then people started like, okay, what's next? And then people started asking the question later, hey, what did I do with all that money that we donated? And they were like, we bailed the people out. And then what happened to the rest of it? And it got like real quiet. So people were unhappy with it. So you should definitely be looking into who you're donating to. I mean, the same could be said about the American Red Cross and the results that they have. And Susan G. Komen is another infamous one that I'm not supposed to say that, but they really take advantage of the pink ribbon branding, and people don't ask too many questions, and then they, eventually people find out what's going on, and they be like, wait a minute, that's not what I signed up for. So charity is it's tough, because even that is a business in America.
Greater Food Depository. That's another one. That's a hot mess. Cliff.
I mean, and that's what I was going to say, that, what Ant was saying, he felt like he's being pimped. But I don't know if everybody realizes it, because I know Pete just said the money goes to the Democratic Party. And some of these, it's not a Democrat or Republican thing. It's all these organizations are pimping everybody because they're all mishandling and mismanaging the money. And it's all going to the CEOs and people up top. I mean, that's what we have in this country. And that's what you have when you have misinformed people who will just donate money to all these organizations. It's mismanagement everywhere. it's across the board, and hey, it's the American way.
Wait. Remember Coney 2012?
Oh my God. Fucking ridiculous.
Okay, so Tino and then Peter. And then Ant.
Hilariously, I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. Wait, give me like 5 seconds. Let me try to remember.
Where the money for the Minnesota Freedom Fund went.
I know it had to do with money, and I kind of lost it. I'll come back to me.
Okay.
I think I was going to say the same thing Santino was. That Minnesota Freedom Fund, so they would bail out people, but then they started bailing out everybody. So there's one dude was locked up for beating his girlfriend, said, "I'm going to murder you." He got bailed out from the Minnesota Freedom Fund. Then what'd he do? He went and he beat his girlfriend to death. So that's where that money was going. So as soon as they stopped bailing out the protesters, which really, when you think about it, it's not that much money, they start bailing everybody out. They start letting violent criminals out. And then they went out and they became repeat offenders, killing people, robbing people because they're violent people, and that's what they do. So that's where that Minnesota Freedom Fund money went.
Tino?
Okay, I remember. So as a Trump supporter, I got to touch on the conspiracy theory aspect. I have this theory that they know that people, minorities in particular, are kind of cool on the Democratic Party this go around, and this is all a scam to fund the Democratic Party because they had been experiencing a significant cash shortfall in the last 4 years. Significant.
Got it. Okay, no one else had their hand up, so I was going to call for a break. I'm going to pause the recording. Is that okay? Okay, and then we'll go into the next topic. Everybody take a quick break.
You said it 6 times.
Keep going.
Shit. Okay, go Wes.
Why when I say y'all, I mean women.
Oh God.
Why do y'all like the raunchiest,
because they're nasty,
dirtiest, filthiest, nastiest songs? When we did that battle last week,
I'm so upset I missed it.
each song,
did they?
Each
Yeah.
song that won was the nastier song each time.
Because
it's not
why
about
would it be like nasty? If you don't like that your woman likes nasty, something wrong with
that doesn't bother me. I'm saying
it's girl power. It's girl power.
So it's empowering.
I know reality talking about
Yeah,
yes, it's just hot.
It's free speech one.
And if
so
you freaky, it's like, yes, some other bitch knows she just as freaky. And it's just like
nothing she was saying was stuff that people don't say. It's just stuff people aren't used to hearing, like in main culture, which, I mean, come on. We grew up in the 90s. We heard some raunchy, ridiculous stuff growing up. And watched the videos.
Well, so I like
turn that shit off.
Oh,
Turn it off.
Like last week, Slab on My Knob came on my phone. I forgot I had the song on my phone. And I turned the car all the way and I was like, eh. And people were like, I was like, it's just, I don't know.
I don't know why. I have
nasty music is like chocolate to women. Like that just is a different thing. It's like the nastier the better, and then also Prince. Those are the only things, and I don't know how they correlated at all, but I just know that if you got a room full of women, you either gonna play the nastiest thing you got or Prince.
Don't let me be Jermaine is still mad. Jermaine is still mad at Shantae, Shayla, and Jasmine for abandoning him last week, by the way.
I apologize. I apologize, JB.
Sorry.
We weren't on your
side. Really wanted to be at
Yeah, I don't even remember falling asleep. I told LaShawn because Jordan was here. I fell asleep with him. I woke up like, where am I?
Do we want to talk about this since we're already on the subject and recording? Let everybody know what we're talking about?
Talk about WAP?
No, what we're talking about last week.
Versus?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this can be thrown randomly in there. Yeah.
Wait, we're already recording?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, we're just having a conversation, LaShawn. So we're gonna introduce the next topic once you're back on camera.
Hey, is it
Ready?
me or is anybody else taking notes? I gotta have a notepad. Like,
I do too.
like really have a
The
notepad.
nastier, the better.
Every
I was
time,
gonna start.
Exclamation.
every
was
time
gonna
somebody
do it
calls
for
me out, I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I
Like,
feel like it'd be better because sometimes I'm
That's
just
one long list.
back to that, like while you're waiting, and you don't want to
Shut-
forget your train of thought. So it makes sense.
Yeah, shut
yeah,
up,
I'll
Aaron.
be
I
like,
heard that.
man, I gotta comment on that. Ah, okay, cool, yeah, pimp. Okay, right now, pimp right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a special place in my heart for specific, and it's specifically like female songs that are that way, raunchy songs. I hear it and I think again, I grew up South Side of Chicago, raunchy house music. That's how I grew up, so it just brings me back to the nostalgia of a basement house party.
Shantae would have voted
Right.
for me then. I would have still won even if y'all came, so Shantae would have voted for me.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
No,
I don't know what I
Janae
would have
was
voted
playing.
for.
No, yes, you would. You said
Well,
The
raunchy
only thing I
music.
heard, Aaron, about your songs, they were a little aggressive, a little Luda.
Yo,
Okay, I could do
Wait,
this.
wait, wait,
I
wait,
don't
wait.
know.
What type of like what name a song you played?
I played a lot of Tank.
You missed a whole bunch.
Ooh,
Jasmine,
Mhm.
control.
Apparently,
I love Tank.
I played Prince, Darling Nikki.
H-Town.
I played.
No, she played a lot of Ludacris.
Yeah,
No,
I did
it was.
play a lot of
I didn't
Ludacris.
play Ludacris version. He was in the songs, but I played a lot of, so I didn't know it was gonna be romantic. Like Jermaine played a lot of romantic stuff. I played a lot of like getting it in stuff.
Down, ass up.
Janet Jackson is not romantic.
Yeah,
Hoes in this house.
No,
yeah.
Janet Jackson is not romantic.
She's
Well,
But
no,
it
not the song she
it
was
was
playing. She,
sensual. It was sensual. He played a lot of sensual
Oh
music.
yeah.
I
yeah.
wasn't. When
He might just be a soft lover, so that's what he loves.
I'm going to stand up for JB right now and just say he don't want to be called soft. I'm gonna go on
Thank
record
you.
right
I
now
was
and
about to
say,
say, don't do him
I
when
got
he's
you.
not
I
on
got
here to
you.
defend
I got
himself.
you. He ain't even here.
Thank you.
And
Wes.
since we on the subject, Shantae, I told the Rude Boy story while you was gone last week too. Just so you
The
know.
rude boy story.
Yeah, I know, because your drunk ass don't remember. But that's the song that you was cussing me out for, and then Journey played it. And then it was like,
Wait,
Rude Boy.
what? I cussed you out to play. Who? What?
This is
Oh, like at a party?
yeah. That was
At like
but it
Dave's
was
house
Rude
or
Boy.
Oh, I
Huh?
remember. I remember when that album came out, the Rihanna album, and I was obsessed with the album. So I believe you that I was like, play Rude Boy.
Jermaine said, for the record, he's never had any complaints about any kind of lover that he was.
Hey, so for everybody out there, what we're talking about is every week. Even I think we started doing it before they officially started doing it. The verses, we picked. I think we did because we did the bracket before everybody else, and then that led into the verses.
Yeah, we were talking about music before everyone else, but as far as like the battle idea, we got it from Versus. But like when they were first
Yeah.
starting before they blew
So-
up.
So the way we started is we had a bracket for like the best 90s pop song, and we had these like it was kind of like a
Sports bracket.
like the NCAA bracket, and then we did that. We started off by doing that, and then we started putting up our own musicians, and then we do different genres. And last week we did Aaron, what did you have? You had male sex songs, and then JB, who's not on the call, he had women's sex songs. So we do different battles. Tomorrow we got a battle going on. LaShawn's gonna get destroyed. We got Taylor Swift versus all pop artists.
Oh God, no, you're getting destroyed. I forgot.
He's gonna
right.
be
Come on, stop it.
destroyed.
Peter's representing
Destroyed.
Taylor Swift.
Yes,
He's been representing Tay Tay for how long now, Pete?
since her first album.
Since her first album. He said,
Yeah.
Are you called a Swiftie? Is that the official?
No. Because I don't really listen to her last two albums. I got a cool story that
that's not-
about.
you're
I got
still-
a good story that I'm gonna tell before the battle tomorrow. But we do a whole bunch of different battles, so we'll have like this real serious stuff, but then we also do these music battles, and we'll list, and we just try to match up different artists that we like, and then just play music and
Go ahead and put that plug in, Peter.
Yeah, that's been a lot of fun. And
And then-
highly recommended during COVID if you
yeah, and he's not on it, but Dave usually puts up the coolest posters up there too, so we get hyped up. We got our own little hype battle posters.
Everybody during
Funny.
COVID has learned a new skill, and Dave's is Photoshop.
Yeah.
Like, he's getting better each week. I'd be like,
Yeah.
damn, his designs went from like No Limit album covers to like this shit is like CGI now. Like, look at Dave.
What is everybody's COVID skill?
I learned video editing, which is why I do video editing now.
I learned how to type. I still type like this though.
I can't say because we're recording.
Damn.
I've been speaking so much better on calls like this. I was actually a little nervous before this call, but I didn't realize how much being on Zoom meetings at work had prepared me for this. So now I'm like, I feel at home because I'm doing this 40 hours a week or more. So I think my new skill has been speaking. I've been speaking so much better. So that's good. It's one bad or good thing to come out of this quarantine.
I raised my credit score.
Nice.
I don't know why that gets an applause, but
Dude, that's hard, man.
It's hard.
It's hard as hell.
Hard.
That's like one of the hardest things, man. I think you probably did the hardest thing out of everybody, man.
It's straight discipline. It is totally un-American. I didn't buy shit. I paid it down, and that shit was like when it like drastically increased, and when it got over 700, you start getting different shit. You start getting stuff like it's a whole nother world out there. You're like, wow. And as it gets beyond that, you start getting like real. So you like, damn, I didn't know you could even do that. Like that's an option.
Wes got that white people credit now.
I am getting white people offers daily. Daily.
Like instant cash back. 2% cash back.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. So you saying if I transfer the little balance I got over here to this one, you gonna give me $1,000 and you gonna not charge me interest for the whole what? When did this happen? So yeah, no, it's the America wild than a motherfucker, but I'm gonna tell y'all how they do it. For the low price of $59.95, YouTube.
Oh my god.
That just reminded me of infomercials, which is it's like my the bad thing.
You're gonna start doing all those infomercials, Wes, for real, man.
My joint, me and my mama's favorite Family Guy is the Wacky Wailing Inflatable Arm Flailing.
Wacky Waving Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man. Wacky Waving Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man. Wacky Waving Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man.
That was amazing.
Come down to Big Al's Wacky Wailing Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man Emporium. What?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I can't believe that we haven't even started talking about the election. And it's, we've been doing this for 2 hours. Well, a little less.
Like an hour and a half.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll introduce the next topic, which is the 2020 election. Obviously, it's on everybody's minds. We just had that debate.
Which was trash. I will openly say it was trash.
Who wants
It was
to kick
awesome.
off